Silas Platt. And, I mean, Knives Out 2 was a very good movie. I thought it wasn't as thought out as the first one. It was more with, at least the storyline, it wasn't as intricate and, detailed. Like, in the first one, there's, all these exact details that happened on the night that, on the night of Harlan's murder. But, with Knives Out 2, it all happens in, less than, 14 hours. Everything just happens at, a very short period of time. And I think that's very important for how, I felt like Knives Out 2 didn't last a long time. It's around the same run length. But I feel like the lasting impact that the first one had on me was a lot greater. And Benoit Blanc is still an incredible character. And, there's still some great characters in the second one. Peg's awesome. She's cool. And, there's, the two sisters. Both of them are cool. I mean, we don't really see much of the main one. But, it's still very cool. But, it's just the dynamics aren't the same. And just, the overall feel is just, a little bit worse. But it's still a great movie.
So, Glass Onion, it was better than the first one. It is my favorite in the entire trilogy, and it's just so good. It's a lot more action-packed than the first one, and I feel like it's a lot more realistic on how events would actually go down, because you can see everyone start freaking out and getting skeptic of each other, and just the tiny things at the beginning, the tiny pot, him asking if there was pineapple in the vaccination and then dying of a pineapple allergy. It's it's just very it all fits together really well, and I felt like it was a pretty solid movie for that reason, and yeah, it's definitely better than the first one. It also had a pretty stacked cast, but that's pretty much it.
Hi, I'm Liam, and this is the beginning of the interview section of the video. So Knives Out 2 was a great movie. It was, once again, about, the general public taking on the rich and besting them, which I thought was a great message, once again. I also thought it was kind of ironic how a bunch of rich people were going to an island and, they didn't want to say anything about the bad things that were going on there because of just their connections to powerful people, and they want to kind of suckle on their teat. But yeah, it was a great movie. I feel like it's not as, I wouldn't say it's not as good as the first one, but it's definitely, they're around the same level. And then that's all I have to say.
Hello.
Hello,
Hi.
I'm Liam. I'm Oliver.
I'm Silas.
And today we are
Watching
Knives Out.
I mean,
Okay.
alright, so, basically it starts off where a couple different characters get a puzzle, and they are figuring it out, and they figure out the puzzle, and they see it's an invitation to go to this really rich billionaire's island,
Basically Elon Musk.
yeah, essentially.
And he has all these rich friends that he invites over to his island, and once they're there, they're greeted with the proposition that they have. I don't think it's proposition, wrong word. The mystery that someone killed Miles Braun. But so they take a whole tour of the island. It's a really nice island, and once they come to the table and they eat, and they, Miles explains the mystery. Benoit Blanc, who's actually not supposed to be there, instantly figures it out, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, so Miles gets pissed at him. They go up to the glass onion, and he's like, oh, how dare you do this? I'm just angry. And then they kind of go back down, and they're partying, right? And then this big beefy dude who's
I forget his name.
Drax,
Dave
yeah.
Bautista. Yeah.
Dave Drax from
He also has a
Galaxy.
Glock,
All three.
right next to
And a girlfriend.
I think
It's not a Glock. It's like a Takarov. So basically, we learn. Okay, so
bit of tracing back. He, when they were about to go on the ferry to the island, they were all getting like vaccination things in their mouth that like would make them immune to the virus for a little bit. Immune to the COVID
Corona.
vaccine. Yeah. You said immune to the COVID vaccine. That's an oxymoron.
Shut up.
Basically,
Oxymoron.
oh yeah, this was during the
Pandemic.
pandemic.
Parademic.
I was about to say birdemic. This was during the pandemic. So they get these like weekend like vaccinations.
Weekend passes.
Yeah,
they-
and basically Drax is like, yo, there's no pineapple in that, right? Right, little foreshadowing. Flashback to when we're at the party.
Flash
Flash forward, yeah. He's drinking, and he just falls like that. He just dies. He's like, and then he just like he like dies.
Yeah, so everyone's like, oh my god, and they're all panicking, and so everyone kind of scatters, and Miles Morales is really paranoid because they think someone tried to kill him, or he thinks someone tried
Yeah,
to kill him.
because the dude grabbed his drink, so like his would be poisoned.
And then so what happened was the lights went out, someone cut out the power, and everyone kind of went on their own, and yeah, so what's his name, Benoit Blanc, and who is presumed to be Andy, meet at the bottom of the stairs where she gets shot and allegedly dies. Allegedly.
But she doesn't actually die because of her phone, I think.
It was her journal,
Oh, her journal, which stopped the bullet. And she had like right here. It's like she would have died.
which was actually her sister's journal because
Subtle foreshadowing of how her sister got murdered.
no, not really.
It's not that subtle. Right after she gets shot, it goes.
Yeah, they reveal it, but
Yeah, flashback where Silas was something.
yeah. But she presumably dies. But Benoit Blanc and her, they basically make it look like she is dead, but she's not. They put like a little bit of hot sauce on her shirt and stuff, and then Benoit puts like hot sauce in his eyes to make him look like he's like crying. When he's not, something like that.
And are we going to talk about how Helen is actually Cassandra?
Yeah.
And that she, like, Cassandra had the idea for Miles Braun's, like, giant tech company before. And so Miles kind of, like, took that and took the towel over, or the napkin. And so there's a whole court case about that. And Cassandra was removed from the company forcefully with no money. And so she tries to find that out. She finds the original napkin and puts it in an email to all of Miles' rich friends. And Miles finds out and kills her, poisons her.
Yeah, he gave her like sleeping pills and then threw her in the she like.
And like the coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then flashback, Benoit Blanc like meets up with them and he's like, oh, she just got shot. Like I don't know what happened. And
But actually, she's alive.
Oh, yeah, he stalls so Helen can go up into the glass onion and find the
napkin.
find the envelope with the napkin in it. And so she comes back down, big reveal she's alive. And so
she has the napkin.
And she has the napkin, and she shows it to Miles, but he burns it.
burns
yeah,
it.
He burns
he
it.
just like does a he quick one on them.
And nobody wants to admit that they saw it because
Yeah.
they don't want to lose Miles'
Yeah,
his
because
gold.
they're just like they're just bots. Like they just want the money.
They're bots.
They're just bots.
Yeah.
They're
So
simping for that Miles Braun money.
so basically after this everything she like freaks out. She starts like throwing his glass sculptures.
Yeah, she goes on a temper
then
tantrum.
before
She was ballistic.
Before you know it,
Everyone else is joining.
basically yeah, everyone's like
It's
yeah,
straight
come on,
anarchy, and they're all like fighting up against Miles Braun, who's like now not in control of
Straight
them.
anarchy.
Yeah.
So yeah, also the that company that she was booted from was trying to make a really good energy source out of hydrogen.
Called Clear with a K.
Yeah, with a K. But hydrogen
actually
is
kills people?
very, very flammable.
Makes
Obviously,
carbon gas.
puts a Hindenburg in the glass onion, everything blows up.
Yeah, and so the glass onion, like this fire, like implodes. And then
Yeah, she like throws it and
everything
she's like, yeah, this is actually not safe. She throws it at the little fire thingy.
Yeah.
And everything's burning down. And didn't talk about this, Miles Braun, since he's like rich and stuff, actually owns the Mona Lisa.
And
Also,
Mona,
notice
Mona
that
goes
he-
bye bye.
Yeah, she's like, they have a standoff and she's like running to press the little failsafe button that drops the case for the Mona Lisa. And she does, and he's like, no! And, yeah, then they basically are out on the beach and the cops show up.
Yeah, but you forgot to mention that everyone kind of gets off of Miles'
Oh, yeah.
golden tea, and amidst
Silver, don't
that,
forget about Silver.
he's ruined, and they saw everything that he did, and he was a part of everything that happened to Cassandra. And
Yeah.
so Miles is, I think it's implied that he's arrested, and
Yeah, because the cops show up.
his island is taken from him. And yeah, that's about it.
Benoit Blanc goes back to his apartment and
Plays Among Us.
yeah, he continues playing Among Us with his friends.
Some imposter, aren't you? Aren't you?
Right, so character analysis.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start off with Benoit Blanc.
The coolest character.
Yeah, the coolest character, the detective. He's once again called back to a mysterious
yeah.
scene, and he doesn't know who called him.
Yeah, just like before.
He
And
no, this time he actually does know who called him. He planned this out. He planned this one out.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
He kind of
Red
just
herring.
sit back and like thinks. He doesn't really go into the thing because I mean, like in hindsight, he did already know everything that happened. But
He's just there gathering evidence to use against
Yeah.
Miles Braun.
yeah. And like most of it, like at the very beginning, we learned that like he was really antsy for a case. He was bored, and I think further towards the end of the movie, he starts becoming more fulfilled with just like everyday life instead of just like always wanting to be on
Playing
case.
Among Us.
Yeah, he's content with playing Among Us with his pals.
Yeah, he's not very good at Among Us though. It kind of sucks.
He should be good though.
Yeah, I feel like if anything, he'd probably be the best
Yeah.
at Among Us. So whatever though.
The best Among
Yeah,
Us.
because he's a good
What
detective.
did I
He's
say?
not a good killer.
No, the best Among Us. Get it? Like Among
Yeah,
Us.
I get it.
Let's talk about Andy and her sister. Mostly her sister, because we don't talk about Andy.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool how she like switches
Andy
from like
does.
a southern voice to like the condescending like
Rich person,
yeah.
posh, just that, and it's
really
that's-
cool.
yeah. What's her name? Helen actually mentions that Andy kind of descended into that.
Yeah, because she originally had like the southern drawl.
This cocky, but yeah, no. Andy, she was well. It wasn't Andy. It was Helen all along, and yeah, and her death was just a red herring to distract.
Let's talk about Edward Norton.
She did low-key
or,
die though.
Miles
Like,
Braun.
that was true.
Okay.
Yeah, she died, but Helen didn't.
Yeah, Helen. Wait, what?
What?
Who's Helen?
Helen's her sister.
Cassandra.
Yeah,
Oh.
Cassandy.
I'm confused. Give me a second.
Let's talk about Miles Braun though, because he's pretty cool too.
Yeah, Miles Braun is basically like Elon Musk.
Yeah.
And every billionaire ever who has like this face on that's like, oh, I want to save the world, I want to do
Wait.
good, but in
Yeah,
reality,
he's like so many friends, and they're like, oh my god, we're such good friends.
I just
You're gonna
realized,
deposit that $5
um,
million to my bank account, right?
That one dude with like the gun, that's like Joe Rogan kind of.
that is not Joe
It's
Rogan.
not Joe Rogan.
Oh no, it's like he's depicting Joe
Oh.
Rogan.
Yeah.
Yeah. he's
He low-key
depicting
does look. No,
any alpha male
and
When I
podcast.
was
Yeah.
trying to describe him, I almost said Joe Rogan. Like,
Yeah.
he was low-key Drax.
I mean, he is Drax.
Yeah. And then
Um,
who is?
the politic lady. She like.
Yeah,
I feel like she's like. I mean, they're both terrible people, so I just compare her to Nancy Pelosi because Nancy Pelosi's a terrible person. But
Whoa, let's stay out of politics.
it's not about politics. She's just objectively a bad person.
Objectively. I really dislike Birdie.
Wait. Oh yeah.
And
I don't know, I thought she was funny, but she's
I like
that person.
I pretty much hate everyone
I just think really
there
annoying. She's
except
so
for
annoying.
Benoit and whatever, because they're just like, yeah, Birdie was really annoying. They just like, dude, they be
Just
doing
bad
anything.
people.
They be doing anything for that bag, and I hate how they switch up and like when they start breaking
They have
they're
no
like,
morals.
heck yeah, let's
Yeah, when Miles starts like
Heck
using
yeah.
his influence, they're like,
Yeah.
you know what? I think I might have seen something.
I'm actually going to be rebellious now. Come on, guys, let's start a revolution.
Let's start a strike. Stand against the system.
Yeah,
Break
and
the
then they just break glass, and it's like, oh wow, that's really
Wow,
cool.
that's
Where's you
funny.
guys like literally?
Like his
Yeah,
pets.
no, Helen did
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, like bro.
I want to start the movie.